Welcome back to Supercoach Master Community. I am Jordy and I'm here with the Supercoach Jackal, Matt C.
Oh, exactly.
Supercoach Chris Angel.
There we go.
If you don't get that one, that's someone left a comment. I think his name was Blake. He said he looks like the Jackal and I look like Chris Angel. I loved it. So
I kind of feel that the Jackal is more about my laugh than the actual thing. But, you know, the guy that made the comment, let me know. Is it about...
Yeah.
Is it about the Jackal laugh or is it about...
I reckon it's about how you look.
The Jackal, all right.
All right, thanks.
Bruce Willis, the Jackal? Anyway.
Yeah, Bruce Willis, the Jackal.
Okay, well, thanks for coming in, guys.
Thanks, Blake, you dickhead.
Yeah, you fucking asshole. I need to tell you a story.
All right, is it a Supercoach story?
Yeah.
All right. I'm willing to listen.
Now, before we get into our subject, I was at the gym last Friday, Pro Royal Gym, shout out to Pro Royal Gym. I was driving out, right? Driving out, you know, and then all of a sudden this guy comes up to me. He's like, stop. I wind down the window. It's a young kid. Like, yeah, mate, how can we help?
So in front of your car?
In front of my car. He stopped. I stopped the car.
Yeah.
He waved me down. He stopped the car. I was like, he goes, excuse me. Are you Matt from Supercoach Masters?
No,
I started laughing. I go, no way.
He didn't.
He said it. He goes, are you Matt from Supercoach Masters? He's smiling at me. I'm smiling at him. And I'm like, do you want to have a chat? He goes, yeah. So he goes, I didn't know it. I didn't recognise you because you don't have glasses on at the gym. But clearly here I am driving away with my glasses on. Shout out to Brendan.
His name?
His name's Brendan.
Did you jump in front of his car, Brendan? Is he talking shit? Are you going to make up a profile called Brendan?
No. He's commented on there before. His name's Costanzo. He made a comment regarding how we don't fluff through the people that no one's going to get, like the Hewitts and the Boats and the Winses. That's him. Anyway, I was so surprised. Like, I just called up and I'm like, you couldn't believe it. And it was just so funny. The odds of me and him, he goes to me, there's only 4 people training at the gym at 6 o'clock in the morning, and here you are, one of the Supercoach Masters, training in the same gym at the same time.
I'll tell you right now.
I saw him again yesterday. We spoke more. What do you want, mate? What do you want to see from the boys? So we're going to go through. Today we're going to go through the must-haves. The must-haves.
I tell you, Brendan, if you ever jump in front of my car, mate, I'm not stopping, sir. Don't ever jump. Oh.
No, it was good. It was good. It was very warm, like, you know.
That's what we need. Another Supercoach Master community person having fucking Tom Mitchell as the top 6.
I made friends. Now, you know, when I see him, we've got something to talk about. I'm late for work, you know, but I'm late for work.
Yeah, this is your job. And this is your job is talking about these absolute must-haves.
Shout out to Brendan. We're going to do our absolute must-haves. Now, these must-haves are not including the obvious premiums because premiums can be, you know, obviously you must have 11 to 14 premiums depending on the structures.
And Tom Mitchell
is a must-have.
Anyway, we're not talking about Tom Mitchell ever again.
That's not true.
But we're going to be talking about the must-have cheaper players. I say if you pick these 10 people in your team,
your Supercoach premiums, the 10 to 14 will be
you can build your team around this. Easy. But then I reckon people are going to pick Dylan Moores, LDUs,
Carl Amons, you know.
So,
and if they don't get Tom Mitchell, Tom Mitchell should be the first big team. Anyway.
Now, let me start off with saying this guy, welcome back to football, Liam Jones, 228K.
Welcome back. Crap him in.
Bulldogs.
He's
back on Jonesy.
Jones is back in.
Get the jab.
Doesn't want the jab. Waiting for the Potomac not to be.
If you don't get the jab, Jonesy, at least give me some Supercoach points, mate, because you are a must-have at 228. I've seen you can do some plucks in the back line, and I hope you're playing there. You better be playing there. Because if you're a forward-line player, Jonesy.
Fucking
why did I even have you in?
Oh, it will be embarrassing if you're not playing the back line, Jonesy. Anyway, Jonesy.
Some stats for the people.
Looking back on your heydays when, you know, COVID-free. You were averaging 77, 70, 66, 69s. These are the ones, this is when you moved in the back line to Carlton. You were terrible as a forward line player in the Western Bulldogs, averaging 42, 45, like terrible. You pushed your average up to 30 more points. You're at 79s, 67s, 69s, 77s. Get us those scores at 2-2.
I think a 70 average is more than what we could ask from Jonesy.
Even if you do a couple of kickouts, but a couple of plunks, a couple of defensive, you know.
You're like, you Bailey Dale, let me do this kick out. I got this one, mate.
Take it off the boys and
just intercept marks, please, Jonesy.
Yeah, that's what we want.
Two a game. That's what we're asking for.
Based what we said there, we want you to be in the team. I think a lot of people will be picking you if you are named halfback, flank, whatever, just to be in the back line.
For sure. Now, guys, for 228, he's a cheap rookie price, so you got to take that. You got to roll the dice on Jonesy. For now, this is early 2023.
Honestly, and this is the type of player that will probably play 20 plus games at least.
He could, unless he gets COVID. There's that jab, you fucking idiot.
Yeah,
All right.
have a jab, but anyway.
Hey, no,
let's go
honestly,
with-
not going to be controversial if you don't believe in having the jab.
Yeah,
Good on you,
yeah,
dickhead.
yeah.
All right, now Oscar Allen.
Jaws, Oscar
That
Allen.
big fucking O champ.
He's ready.
actually one of my very, very top locks. I really like the cut of his jib.
See, the good thing about this thing is we're agreeing on something.
I know,
And
like
we
our
are-
last
we-
video where we added to this.
We are agreeing on something, and Oscar Allen at that price, all reports. Have a look, AFL website. Dom Sheed says something.
Oh.
No, look, I'm not talking about Dom Sheed, even though Dom Sheed would be an honourable mention as a must-have, but one to look for. One to look for the president.
We'll mention that.
Dom Sheed had about a 3-minute interview. He reckons there's about 6 to 7 players in West Coast. Almost admitted that they were tanking, that they were all ready to go.
Yeah, I know.
That they all were ready to go. Dom Sheed was ready. Oscar Allen was ready. Nat Nui, Duggan with it. And all these type of players were ready to play.
Gilbert McLaughlin, if you're watching this, you need to investigate West Coast.
West Coast.
Fucking tanking.
They were tanking. Dom Sheed did not leave anything to my imagination. But anyway, new season. If Adam Simpson puts all these boys on the field, I think, West Coast will do better. They're a bottom 3 side last year. Bottom 3?
You definitely.
Definitely bottom 3. If they've got all these players fit and firing, I think they could.
Bottom 6.
I'm not. Yeah. That's a good call.
Bottom 6.
Bottom
We're agreeing
bottom
on
6 at least.
This is a great party. I love it.
But bottom 6 with Oscar Allen in your team playing 20 odd games that I had.
I know it sounds funny, guys, but let's get into some stats. He missed 2022. He's $210,000 in West Coast, obviously, in the forward line. We think he might be getting some more ruck duties, a little bit more.
Yeah.
But
Josh Kennedy gone. He's going to be a number 1 target next to Darling, who you think is probably declining because he's way too old. Absolutely. I can agree. I can agree.
Okay.
All right, but not about Dom Sheed or
Because if Kennedy retired because of his...
Kennedy was...
All right, so now look, we're going to get into some
Kennedy's already on his pension, but anyway.
He's played 4 years beforehand.
4 years.
What did he average in those 4 years? Am I going to get bang for buck at 210K?
Look, mate, he was 2021. That was only 2 years ago. Not even. It's 2023, just in January. But 2021, he was averaging 63.
63. That's pretty good for his price.
And West Coast was still shit then.
West Coast will continue to be shit and still was shit.
Bottom 6.
Yeah, bottom 6.
Anyway, 2020, best year. He averaged 78.5.
78 is fucking massive.
All we need for him to do is to kick a couple. Have a look at his run. We should have looked at his run. If they've got a couple of easy runs and he keeps a bag of 3-4 games in a row, from 200 he'll be 350.
I think it's just a matter of time. If the O-Dog's on the field, he'll get a couple of decent scores. You expect a 40 here and there, but I expect
at that price, if he can get an 80 and hold that 80 for 3 weeks as the average goes up, he'll be making money consistently, even if he gets a 50 the week after a 45.
My stamp of approval, Zeebs. He's
100%.
Now tell me a couple of averages beforehand. I think it was a
65.9 in 21 games, 78.5 in 14 games, 63.6 in 21 games. Last year, he was ready to go, and not because he's shit. Just because they didn't play him.
Yeah.
And according to Dom Sheed, so AFL.
You investigate West Coast.
Is it Dylan McLaughlin the main guy this year?
Who cares?
You know,
He's not in my Supercoach team. Now,
who cares?
Now I want to talk about Jay Hamling next. 169K
I always
defender.
like Hamling.
You need to get Hamling in your defence for the following reasons. Matty, can you give me some stats?
First of all, what's that price?
It's 169K.
So 169K is equivalent to maybe a second round rookie, or top
first round pick.
Yeah, a first round pick. Hamling when fit. Now he's a tall defender. Now I'm pretty sure Freo have lost a couple of talls. They lost that Griffin Logue.
Oh, he's going to be a huge loss.
They lost. Well, he was a key defender though. He went to North Melbourne, but they still lost him. I don't know. Look, that face. I know it's not Supercoach related.
I know I'm saying it's a huge loss. I know, but it's going to be.
But that looks
relevant.
like a sarcastic face. Is it a huge loss or not?
Not to Freo.
Not to.
Because I got Hamling.
That's
why it's a big loss. Because they got a ready-made replacement for him.
So
Hamling. And Hamling has been a proven scorer, Matty.
Hamling, 22 games in 2017, averaged 62. 18 games, he averaged 71.5.
71 is more than enough for someone.
100%. And 22 games, he averaged 63.
Right.
So any player at that price can average 55 or above.
Mate, if I see a 63 from Hamling in round one, I am going nuts with happiness.
Yeah, happiness.
Yeah,
all right, he's to be fair, he's played one game last year, averaged 44, hence why he's so cheap, because he got injured. And even 2021. So he might have a injury cloud over him over the last 2 years. But however,
position has opened with Griffin Logie.
Position is open. I don't think he's out of the team because he's not good enough, because clearly he has been good enough.
Yeah.
Playing 22 games, 18 games, 22 games. It's the matter of him being fit, him being named round one, based on that price, based on his stats, lock for me. George?
My seal of approval check. Just a spoiler alert, guys. All these guys got my seal of approval. They're fantastic.
I think so too.
At this stage of the season.
We'll
keep another close eye. We'll keep on pumping out those videos. So make sure you like and subscribe, because we are going to be pumping out constant videos with updates from all the preseason stuff. Supercoach opening, everything.
Every article
that's coming at you. It's coming at you hot. Just like this next player, Connor McKenna. He's coming back to Australia. Welcome, Connor. I hope you enjoyed your stint.
He's done a stint. He's won his Gaelic footy title. Now he's coming back to Brisbane. I'm pretty sure there's a position for Brisbane in the back line.
I know, because you don't rate the Starceviches and the...
I don't even know. I can't even name, but I like watching Brisbane play, but I do not know any of those Brisbane back six. Maybe, who can you name off the top of your head?
Off the top of I know these players, but at the top of my head, I know...
If you have to think about...
There's a Madden in there.
Who's Madden?
He
sounds very replaceable.
He is replaceable.
There's Starcevic in there.
Starcevic is a good player.
He's very replaceable when you get
Daniel
a player
Rich.
like a running superstar like Connor McKenna, who just doesn't know when to stop running.
He doesn't know when to stop. That could be a serious
George, what's his price?
It's 167 in the defence.
Yeah. So what would you expect from a 167?
So well, just like handling, I want at least a 60 champ. So tell me what am I going to be getting?
Cool, George. When he was playing for Essendon and he was bouncing and kicking the ball to himself.
If anyone doesn't remember him, the Irish bloke from Essendon, he loved kicking the ball from himself when he was on the mark. And
he'll bounce it on the second step. He'll kick it to himself, and he's just.
he's been playing Irish Gaelic football, so he's been keeping his fitness up. So
that's right. He hasn't left football for 2 years and then come back.
Yeah, like Jonesy.
Being a fat kid.
Liam
Jones, because he did.
Sorry, Jonesy.
McKenna got his jab.
McKenna got his jab.
Because
he couldn't go into state.
That's right. All the reason to get him. All the reason to get him.
Sounds like a good bloke.
Meanwhile, that price at 167, he has averaged George 66 in 18 games, 74 in 18 games, 79.8.
79, guys.
That was.
If he's on your team, you got to really ask yourself why.
Yeah, like 79.8 in 21 games and that was in 2009. It wasn't even too long ago.
Yeah.
2020 was his last year where he called it quits for whatever the reason, but.
He was in Essendon. There's the drugs scandal. I'm sure that would have taken its toll on him overall. And
he played 6 games. He averaged still the 6 games that he played. He averaged 60, and then he left.
Yeah, and in that he got a 73 in his last game. So he's capable of getting us a lot of cash, filling up that back line, which is more importantly, so we can spend the money on those midfield players.
So if these back line and look, Liam Jones, Hamling, McKenna.
That's 3 people.
That's 3 players. 3 players under. Well, besides Liam Jones. Two of those players, and we're going to say a couple of more in the back line, because we see that the value is in the back line, and we want the value to be in the back line, because we don't like to start Sicily. We don't like to start Sicily. We don't like to start Dawson, Doherty's, and
Sinclair's.
We want these cheapies so we can start those Olivers and Neils and McRae's and Laird's and Bonds even, and definitely Tom Mitchell's. George, next one.
Jack Steele's.
Jack Steele's, definitely.
Now, speaking of steals, this guy's going to steal our heart because... Sorry, guys. Nick Caulfield. He's not going to steal our hearts. He's 208k, though.
Get your act together, George. He's not going to steal our hearts. 208k, Nick Caulfield.
He could. Nick, if you want to steal my heart, baby.
You can.
208k. I'm expecting some big numbers. You're a young player, a high draft pick from memory. 208k. Top 10.
Yeah.
He didn't play last year, but I think he got some potential. I think he's already averaged around 71.
Oh, George, why are you taking my thunder?
Oh, sorry,
I'm the one telling you the averages. You're not looking at the computer. Just shut up and read the numbers and read the prices.
Has he averaged 71?
What's his price?
I already said it. Why do you keep asking twice?
This is how I want to do my thing.
He's 208k.
208k. George, what would you expect from those prices?
I'm expecting at least Jonesy numbers.
I'm
expecting a jab in about 70.
All right, so he's played 4 years into the system. Had a bit of didn't play a game last year. His word on the street is he's back on the track, still in the runnings, full, with the groups. Big plans for him, obviously top 10 pick. They're still extending his contract. He's ready to play. He has averaged 2020, 71.9 George.
Very close.
Very close. That was in 16 games. 2021, which is 2 years ago, 63 in 16 games. His first year was respectable. He played 10 games, averaged 52. Played 8 games, averaged 57. I feel with Ross Lyon,
He loves to chip around the old back line, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
What else? Hell, defenders there. Hunter Clark.
You got Hunter Clark. I think Bradley Hill's going to jump in the back line.
I hear he's destroying.
He's looking tough. He's killed.
I know Bradley.
He smashed the time trial. You know, smashed it.
All he needs to do is find the football. Now.
All he needs to do is find the football.
Now, this is our second
field.
most expensive one to.
So first of all, Caulfield, top 10 pick, very good price, named round 1, lock.
Was that your phone?
No. It was Tom Mitchell saying, "Hey man,
Champ, just don't. Let's don't.
I love you
Champ,
too, Tom."
All right, let's get to Jack Bowes. 277 Geelong super pick for the pick 5. I wish.
Oh look, what's his price, George?
277. I fucking just said it.
Need it one more time.
277,000 backline. We've pretty much filled your backline. There should be no one.
There should be no
Hearns. There should be no
Doggett, no nothing. This backline, if they're all gonna get 70s and they're gonna repeat and they're gonna be named round 1, you're pretty much gonna save so much. You don't even need rookies anywhere else. Now I see a lot of people. Like, bear with me for a sec before we get into 60 Jack Bowes. I see a lot of people on that Supercoach official page.
Oh,
and then,
I don't think anyone knows what they're doing.
And people, there's one of our followers out there, I think his name is Dean, and I really like this team.
Oh, his team seems really good.
I think Dean Fields, shout out to Dean Field. I love this team. He had like a couple
of almost too good. Almost we have to block him from the channel because he's very close to us.
So very close to our team, and it was almost too good, and I liked it. But you get those drop kicks that say, "Oh yeah, you need to tighten up in the back line."
Yeah, you need to focus.
You're playing 30 players on the 22 players on the field. Now, whether you need to put some money in the back line as in get 3 premiums to even it out makes no fucking sense or difference. You're playing 30. $10 million equals 30 players, 28 players on the field.
For once, I agree with him, guys. It's
so true.
It is, and all the look. If you
just have
Dino and the rest, if you're posting your team, you're going to get nothing but feedback from some clowns in there. There's absolutely people who have no idea. Supercoach ranked 400,000.
Like,
telling you, it's a sensational team.
It's a sensational
Keep it to
team.
yourself, though.
Yeah, don't let it out. Like, we don't want too many people being in the top 100. Like,
just the Supercoach Master community.
Just the Supercoach community. That's all we want.
Then, guys, we're also going to make a league when Supercoach opens. We're going to get more on that later. So make sure you subscribe when we drop our league code.
We're going to drop.
There's going to be some prizes.
We're going to drop a league code. There's going to be some prizes.
I'm probably going to win it also.
Well,
if you copy my team,
are we going to do it together, or are we going to do a Supercoach Masters, or we want to go head to head and let them try to? We're putting our reputation on the line, so you want to get in on this.
I want to cream all you guys, and that's not. If you copy my team, probably not. But
well, like and subscribe, and you got a chance. So anyway, what I'm saying is, Dean, you had a really good team. What my point was before Jordy started talking about it is, no matter how many, if you count, if you got 3 premiums, 5, 2, and 3, they're all going to equal the same amount of premiums. So no matter where you get the premiums, it doesn't matter on the field. They're playing on the field. However, these cheapies that we're reading out, majority of them are in the back line.
There's a reason for that.
And there's a reason for that. And well, we're just lucky that there are. Like, this is our best year to know that if these cheapies in the back line, we're piling up. Can you name? I don't think you can really name 5 cheapy midfielders because we haven't even. First of all, we haven't seen them yet. Second of all,
they're not as.
Second of all, like a Chad Fletcher from Brisbane, who's a top pick. I would.
Is his first name Chad?
Oh, I don't know what it is.
Jasper Fletcher?
Jasper Fletcher, yeah. Jasper.
Where the fuck did you get Chad from?
Like, I would rather a Conor McKenna playing round 1 who probably averages, who we know. There's, these are calculated locks. They're calculated locks, not just picking the new first round picks that we hope we're going to see do good, who might not even get 22 games. Anyway, that's what.
Let's talk about Bowes.
Talk about Bowes. All right, moving on.
Give the listener structure.
I'm just very, very animated when I see people bagging teams like Dean's. Because your defence isn't tough enough. Like, mate, you're not playing just defence. You're playing 22 players. Anyway, moving on. Jordy's frustrated. Wants me to
I want to hear about Jack Bowes.
He wants to hear about Jack Bowes.
Jack Bowes. Gold Coast gave up pick 5. Let's get rid of this guy.
George, I don't think you mentioned his price. What's his price? One more time.
What goes over, champ?
All right.
277.
Wow. All right. So Jack Bowes, superstar in Gold Coast back in the day. He was.
Back in the day, I remember when he was doing the kickouts, and he was actually everyone was looking into bringing him in.
I remember you were considered. People were actually bringing him in.
He was in a very Supercoach friendly role, doing all those kickouts. They moved him away from that. I think once the coach just got fit and other types. But
Well,
he can still be very good for the best team in the competition.
Like he's at that ripe age that Jordy likes, around the 26 odd mark. Well, no, 25. He's turning 25 next year.
Bit young, guys.
Bit young. So
he's good. He can do something.
But in his first 2 years, he averaged 48 and 64. But then he goes on to average 75, 83, and 82.8.
Now I want 80s from that price. Bozy.
I think with this new team, Geelong did not have an abundance of midfielders. Yes, they got Dangerfield, who I can agree with. George.
Are we thinking that we're putting
he's
him?
Getting on.
He's getting older.
He's getting older. Selwood finally retired, put his boots up, and he's on the walking.
That's right.
On his walking stick now. Yeah, Cam Guthrie is still in the maybe. Who else is in Geelong's midfield? Can you name them?
I think they rotated Menegola and they
Menegola. Did he even play 20 games?
He didn't play 20.
No, I think he was pretty.
But anyway, Menegola.
So we're confused right now. Who are Geelong's midfield? I think Jack Bowers is young and ready to go and to spring some youth into that old.
Tanner Bruin as well.
That old fart team. I think they're using Rory Atkins as well. They have used him.
Rory Atkins?
Not Rory Atkins. Tom Atkins. Sorry.
Yeah.
Tom Atkins. So I think.
Not Chad Atkins.
Chad.
The Chad Atkins.
It looks like a
all
Chad.
right.
Anyway, Bo's in Geelong.
We're liking the pick so far, guys.
I think a lot of people are liking that pick. And again, guess what? He's in the back line, George.
Guys, he'll probably dual position after a couple, and that's going to be really handy.
No, very handy.
Now, let's talk about the back line again. Darcy Wilmot.
Oh, George, there's nothing much to say about Darcy.
Everyone's thinking, 1-2-3K. He's just a rookie, guys. He's not a rookie because he played last year. As we mentioned before, that doesn't count because he played in the finals only, where that kind of number doesn't... It's really silly how that kind of number playing in the finals doesn't affect your Supercoach average. But he did play. He did score well.
He did. We don't... Like, okay, so... he scored 73 and 61. Excuse me. 73. So I think he played 3 games.
All in the finals.
Yeah, all in the finals. He played against Richmond, Melbourne, then Geelong. So 52, 61, and 73 for a $123,000 player who's already made his money for me, guys. So Darcy Wilmot, he's not like the other rookies where we needed to wait and see. He was in their best team in the finals, but who knows? Connor McKenna could be kicking out, but he played really well. And there's no reason to suggest why he won't be in that. Just like Bowes last year, everyone jumped on Bowes. Well, when he played the grand final with Melbourne, he went straight into the team as a cheapie. Like, you know what I mean? Like he did the same thing. Just like that, what's his name? Marlon Pickett. You know, Marlon Pickett a couple of years ago from Richmond. Yeah. He played grand final. His debut game was a premiership. Yeah. Was a premiership grand final.
It's all downhill from there, though.
And it was all downhill. But no, but when we got him at that 123, he did well for us. So same thing. Yeah. Lock for me. There's a no-brainer. Darcy Wilmot should be in everyone's team next year.
Now, guys, we've probably filled up your back line now, so you probably want someone from a different position. So let's go to the best. And my number one pick as a must-have in 2023 so far is a Toby McLean Western Bulldogs 178,000 midfield forward.
I like him. I think if we're going to do number 1, 2, 3 top picks, George, I'd like to hear yours. Yours is number 1. I'll tend to agree that Toby McLean is money for jam at that price.
If he was available, I'd pick 6 of him. I could pick 6 of him if that was the max. I'd pick the rest of my
only if he was in the back line.
Premiums and Toby McLean's, that's how I would go, because this guy is so cheap, and it's unbelievable how cheap he is.
Tell us how much.
178K, and he played in the finals for the Bulldogs last year. And that obviously didn't affect... Very similar to Darcy Wilmot, played in the finals. It didn't affect his average. This guy's averaged 90 plus before. Matty's going to hit you with some more technical stats because he's got
George, he was in our team. 2018, he played 22 games and averaged 95.
22 games, 95. He's 178. If you don't have him, you're very foolish.
19 games, he averaged 85. 18 games, he averaged 70. 12 games, 68. He fell out of the team a bit, but clearly he's crawled his way back into fitness. Managed to get him an elimination final spot against Fremantle last year. Scored 100 Supercoach points with 21 touches. Yeah. Tackled everything. 9 tackles, I believe it was. He just looks fresh and looks good and looks part of the team. Not to mention Hunter Dunkley gone.
Hunter Dunkley, what an opportunity to get into that midfield.
I don't think there is an opportunity. Like obviously we still got McRae's, Bailey Smith, Spons. You know, like a couple of other. He will be in the rotation. He will get games. I don't see him being a sub. I see him being in the best 20, not 22, best 20.
I agree.
So I think He's a lock. That price, he'll be on the field. And don't be scared, you know, like regarding...
I'm not scared.
No, don't be scared.
I'm not scared at all.
No, he's a lock.
I'm quite aroused at the fact of picking Toby McLean.
Look, the only shit thing about Toby McLean is any smart Supercoach player will have him and he's not going to be the point of difference, but it's when you trade him out, like...
It's going to be... What's going to separate you and other coaches regarding Toby McLean is when you trade him out, if you trade him out.
When to release and to upgrade that.
He could get a real shit number of 50 one time, and that could be the time where you just need to bite the bullet and hold him when all the other fools.
But we will do weekly updates when we think weekly updates.
Weekly.
Every Supercoach round finished, every AFL round finished, we'll be doing a post, and then also we're going to be doing a post. I think we've agreed that we'll do post as soon as the teams come out.
Oh yeah.
So we'll do that. Anyway, McLean, love that pick. He's number one for me.
Guys, 2 left, and let's go to Ashcroft.
Marcus Ashcroft, I've seen
his league's above the rest of the kids in the draft.
And look, this is everything that we've read out. People have played games, and we're going off.
Yeah, this is the
calculated facts and risks and prices that just match juicy. Now this is
where I got that image.
Yeah,
from.
the juicy.
So only one that hasn't played again.
Ashford, only one that has. I've seen him play. I know it's under the 18, but man, he doesn't belong there.
He could be a Dacos if he trains hard.
He doesn't belong there. Like I think with Brisbane having, well, they got Dunkley, they got Neil. The next best would be McNuggage, maybe Jared Lyons, Berry. I feel that Ashcroft has a spot in that rotation, and I think he will get 15 to 20 games. I think they'll play him early. They'll his fresh legs, his.
I think he's a must. I think he's a must. If you got to get him, I think his potential is huge.
Yeah, and I think he can fit well in Brisbane's midfield and forward.
It's a fantastic midfield, and he's not playing for any shit club, so you know that he's got Neil and Dunkley's and stuff around him.
So for that price, I think he's going to be one of the first.
Let's lock him in, guys. Let's lock him in. Not too much to talk about there. He's just leagues above the Schneasels and all the other.
Yeah, all the rest of them.
There's so many other reasons. So. Get into our lucky last. If this guy's not on your team, you need to reconsider. I know there's some guy in the comments who said that this guy wasn't in their team. I think a video or 2 ago, maybe the midfield.
Okay.
Jacob Hopper. Can you believe it, guys? There's someone out there not getting Jacob Hopper.
Why not, George? Why would they think that Jacob Hopper is a bad pick?
I don't know.
Do we call our viewer out, or what do we do?
I think it's a bit too early to call anyone out if they got their own strong opinions and beliefs. But look,
besides the price and his averages, why do you think he'll be good? Why is he a lock?
Let me tell you why, guys. We're going to 332,000. Besides that, he's going from GWS to Richmond. He's going to a team where there's a lot of senior heads around. A team very much in that premiership window. He's a great player. He's always been around the $500,000 mark.
He's a sole midfielder too.
He's not going to be playing forward. No. He's not going to be playing defence. He can't play midfield and he can't play forward. He's going to get a lot of CBAs at Richmond. I think he's going to be the number 1 CBA getter at Richmond.
George, in 3 years in a row, he's averaged over 95, 90, 91 and another 95. 97, sorry.
Jesus Christ. Now, that guy that doesn't have him. Now, if he was...
Those numbers are $550,000 worth.
Exactly. He's averaged, let me say that again, 95.7, 90.9, and 96.9 in 2021. That is very recent form. He's young. He's a good player in a good team. We're going to have to lock him in. If you don't have him, you're a fool.
The reason why he's so cheap, he played 57, he averaged 57 last year, played 7 games for GWS. Started playing at the end of the year when GWS's career was over.
He got injured round 1.
He was injured round 1, so already his Supercoach score has affected him a lot.
Yep.
But yeah, the last game that he played against Fremantle, he got 18 touches, 2 goals. He got a respectful 95.
That's very respectful for 3-3-2.
Against Western Bulldogs, he got 26 touches, 75 in Supercoach. Which that price is around a 70 average, what he's priced at. But what he can do now that he's in a new team, he's still got a buddy in Taranto.
I reckon they'll be looking for each other.
Oh yeah.
If you go to a club with your mate, the new club, you're going to be...
George, yeah, 100%.
I reckon he's a good pick, guys. I think he's a lock. And if you don't have him, there is really no unless you show me a team with 8 premiums, there's nothing else I'm accepting in that midfield with no hopper.
Yeah, you need to have 8 premiums. You need to have 8 premiums. The 7 and a hopper is respectful.
If you have 7 and an Ashcroft, I can understand, but
hopper needs to be in. There's a couple of honourable mentions. George, you want to turn that page for me? I just wanted to read a few out. So these are the locks. Like there's a couple of guys that I just track their pre-season because, like these guys, they have played games. I'm not going to go with their averages. Just going to throw some names. Like Rory Atkins is 203,000. Like he's
what team? Because some people don't know.
He's from Gold Coast. Now he was a good player in Adelaide.
You're going to say superstar.
I was going to say superstar.
I'm glad you called for that.
I corrected myself very quickly. You know, Aiden Bonner, like 203,000 for North Melbourne in the back line with the new coach. I like that Goda. A lot of people are picking that Goda from North. He played one game last year. He got a 70s, 190-odd thousand.
I need to see more in the preseason.
Well, that's right. So this is what I'm saying. These just keep an eye on these players. Talk about other players that you might want to see in the preseason track. But Aaron Francis, moved from Essendon to Sydney. I don't know. At the start, I thought that it would be one of those locks. He's 189,000. Him being.
If he can break
into the team and play that Paddy McCartan role and hopefully get Dean Rampy off that tall forward, and Dean Rampy can do those intercepts and does what he normally does, because Dean Rampy's price has dropped because of that. Because
Dean Rampy's an old man now. I'm not speaking Dean Rampy.
Because of his role. Campbell's Chester is one from West Coast that everyone's thinking, everyone's thinking that. Again, track the pre-season. Hopefully he gets a game, because that's a good pick in the midfield, very cheap as a forward defender.
Josh Sin is one we've been tracking, who's Port Adelaide absolute high raps, 150k last year, 123k this year. He's still going to be out for another 6 weeks.
That's sad.
Hinkley has come out and said that he is definitely in line for that wing role that Carl Amon has left vacant. So look, he could be a good downgrade option if he's not ready for round 1, but if he is, he'll be one I'll be throwing into the lock. If he's named round 1, he's a lock.
As soon as I heard that, he was already in the team. I think he was in a lot of people's teams. Dual position. It was a good forward mid. Had a shot last year in the first 2 rounds, but obviously got injured and still recovering. But hopefully he gets named round 1 and has a good pre-season.
If not, a good downgrade option.
Essendon's Alwyn Davey. Big raps on him. Potentially could, on the grapevine, could be named round 1.
That's what, yep. You said you got some internal sources.
So keep an eye out for
Pro
Davey. Pro Raw Gym, yep. So hopefully Alwyn Davey does do, I hope he's not one of those, because he's a midfield forward. I know the little brother's more of a goal sneak. He's the other drafted that they got. But this one here couldn't be breaking the wings and stuff. So I hope he's not going to be one of those, 35 to 40 Morris Rioli type players where you...
Rioli had a good year last year, didn't he?
No, remember he got 7s and...
But then he came back with a big number.
Anyway,
we don't want that.
We don't want that. So hopefully he can snag a roll on the wing.
Let's talk about champ Josh Bruce. I heard that he's been training with the defenders now.
At that price, Jaws, 167. Is he training? Like, if you hate your old farts, Jaws, this is one that you want to bring up. He's
167. I mean,
167 is a good price.
It's a great price. You can't ignore a price like that. Just keep an eye on the preseason. I think that they were speaking negatively about his position change, because I was saying, he hasn't lost his spot in the forwards. We're just going to have to try new things out because we have some new people back there. So it wasn't more of we've got such an asset in Bruce and we're going to chuck him back down there.
I kind of feel that if he does get a game, he's going to hurt Jones's games. That's for sure.
Yeah. But he's probably... Bruce has probably got the jab.
Unless you get Gardner down, or who else is there tall backman? I don't even know.
Keith? There's a Keith there somewhere.
They've got a couple of tall people.
You know what I like back there? Probably not Supercoach relevant. He's not Supercoach relevant, so let's not talk about him. All right.
George, you just mentioned it. What?
Champ.
Quickly. Don't worry about it. All right, moving on. George doesn't want to talk about anything but Supercoach.
Forgot his name.
That's what I thought.
Richards?
Ed Richards, he's 400 and something thousand.
I know, but he came into his own in the second half of the season.
I
told you I didn't want to talk about it. You made me talk about it.
He's embarrassed.
You wanted to talk about defenders in the Bulldogs.
Anyway, moving on.
I'm done.
Another one. Jacob Van Runen. I heard a lot of good things in Melbourne about him. He potentially could be named round 1.
Replacement for Shaqay.
Shaqay didn't even get games, but
replacement in the twos for Shaqay.
Well, look, I think keep an eye out for him as well. Obviously,
this is going to be
all of these keep an eye out for will probably be irrelevant as soon as we see the preseason in round 1. These are our opinions right now. However, the ones that we mentioned with all the calculated facts with...
You need them in your team today.
Yeah. But all the ones I just rambled, they're just my speculations of who I'm going to be watching for, and I think you should too. Just because when they do get games, you don't think I'm an idiot. And moving on, Jules.
Yep. Look, if you see Matty out in the street, just say hi to me. He obviously loves the attention. If you see me, don't talk to me. No, I'm joking. I'm always down for a Supercoach chat.
Oh, yeah?
I love Supercoach chat. I talk about it every day. Then I talk about it with you every day. Every time you call me on the way to work, then hang up when you get there.
That's it. That's what we do.
All right, guys. It was actually nice to have a podcast where we agreed for once.
I know. Well, no, that's what we had to, because the bickering and our mums are watching and they're upset at each other because we're not getting along.
Thanks for watching, Mum.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, please. We've got a few views, but not enough subscribers. Yeah. Do us a favour and hit the subscribe button for us, and we'll catch you on the next one, guys. Jordy?
Yep. Supercoach Jackal and Supercoach Angel out.
Yeah.
See you.